All right, let's jump right in. We're going to explore a pretty wild idea from an essay by Eugenia Gallardo. What if being ugly wasn't something to hide, but was actually an identity you could claim?
And boom, she starts with this. It's a line that's really designed to make you stop and go, wait, what? Instead of trying to find your best angle for a picture, she says you should just lean into it. Make yourself even uglier. It's a pretty radical thought, right?
So yeah, the obvious question is, why? Why in the world would anyone possibly argue for this? Well, her reasoning is this really fascinating deep dive into identity, into our heritage, and into what it means to demand respect. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack here. Okay, first things first. To even begin to understand her point, we have to get really clear on her definition of the word ugly, because she's not just, throwing that word around casually like we might.
And what's so important here is how incredibly precise she's being. The author is zeroed in on what she calls basic physical ugliness. This isn't about being, monstrous or disgusting. For her, it's just a neutral description of how someone looks. And this is key, it has absolutely nothing to do with a person's character or their worth.
This lays it out perfectly. On the right, that's how we often think of the word. You look it up in a dictionary and you see all these connections to being immoral or shameful, but the author? She just tosses all of that aside. Her whole focus, there on the left, is about separating the physical from the moral, treating it like just another human variation.
So now we get to the real heart of her argument. And this is where things get really personal and honestly, pretty emotional. She reframes this whole thing not as an issue of how you look, but as an issue of loyalty.
And this is just a crucial point she makes. Being ugly in and of itself isn't the problem, not at all. People who are ugly still work. They fall in love, they have dreams, they live full lives. So for her, that's not the issue.
The real problem, she says, is the constant, exhausting effort to hide it. The makeup, the perfect camera angles, the filters, the clothes designed to distract, all those little tricks we use to pretend we look different than we do. That denial is what she's really taking aim at. And she uses some incredibly strong words for it. She calls this denial a betrayal of one's ancestors. Whoa. She basically sees it as rejecting your own family history, turning your back on the very people who gave you your face. She wants us to start thinking of these features not as flaws we need to correct, but as family heirlooms. That hooked nose, that's a gift from a great-grandparent. Those free-spirited ears, that's part of your unique story, your genealogical inheritance. So to hide them, in her view, is like tearing a page out of your own history book.
So, if hiding your features is a betrayal, what are you supposed to do instead? Well, this is where her essay really pivots from being a critique into a full-blown call to action. It's basically a manifesto for a whole new identity movement.
And she lays out a pretty clear three-step plan. Number 1, assume it. Just acknowledge it, accept it as part of who you are. 2, reclaim it. Basically, assert your right to exist exactly as you are, without feeling any shame. And finally, number 3, unite. Find other people and find strength in those numbers.
And her last plea is this really passionate cry for solidarity. It's a call for all the ugly people to stop hiding by themselves and to start standing together, demanding to be seen and respected for who they actually are. But what's the point of all this? What's the end game? Well, it's not just about feeling better about yourself. According to the author, there's a much, much bigger cultural goal she's aiming for. And here it is, the final takeaway. The author believes that for centuries, society has made this huge historic error. We've linked how someone looks with their moral character. The idea that beauty means goodness and ugliness means something is wrong with you on the inside. Her entire mission is to just sever that link, cut it completely. She wants to create a world where ugliness is just an identity, not a judgment.
And that leaves us with a really challenging question, especially for right now. In a world that's just full of Instagram filters, cosmetic surgery, and constant digital manipulation, what does it even mean to truly own your own image? It's a powerful idea to think about.